Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. Brothers and sisters, it's a new week and we are very, very happy to receive you, and we are really happy to share a great show with you today. We have so much to share today. In fact, you really enjoy the show today because there are so many topics we're going to be dealing with. In fact, to begin the show of today, we want to thank you sincerely. Look at our numbers. The numbers have been going up, but it looks like they've slowed down a little bit. And now we're at around 9,600. We want to get to 10,000 before December 31st. So that's the challenge we have for you. Push up, come on, push those numbers. Share with your friends. Tell everybody about the show, okay? We want people to share and subscribe. Share and subscribe, share and subscribe. You're doing a good job of sending us information, and we're using all the information that you're sending to us. And most of you are really enjoying this because this is your show. We just want to hit that magic number, 10,000 before December 31st. We can do it. So please do it. We don't have much time left in December. So please go to the internet, watch the show, and share it with everybody that you know. Tell at least 10 people about the show and tell them to subscribe. When we get to this magic number, it means that next year, when we have a show, a lot more people will be watching, okay? So we thank you very much for doing a good job of sharing and watching this show. Without you, we'll have no show. For the show of today, we're going to begin by expressing our sympathy. Our sympathy goes to South Africa. South Africa has been experiencing a lot of rains and a lot of floods. And when you look at some of the streets, they are overflown. And we really feel sad when we watch some of the pictures. And we think that some of us who are Pan-Africanists, we want you to join us to express our sympathy with the people of South Africa. Some of them have even lost power in their homes, and most of the streets are just so flooded, and we just wish them well, okay? Let's wish them well once again. So from South Africa now, we're going to really go now to Tanzania. The theme of the show of today is freedom of speech, rule of law. Those are some of the subjects that we really want to harp on the show of today. We've been talking about this on other shows, but today we're going to make this the focus. Tanzania has a new president who has been there for like over 3 years. His name is John P. Magufuli. Most of us have really admired him a whole lot because he's been doing a lot of positive things. He's been able to renegotiate contracts between the Chinese and Tanzania. He has been able to look for things that favor his people. So when we look at some of these deeds, we really commend him. And when we look at even the report from the African Development Bank, talking about the good deeds of President John P. Magufuli, we say this is what we want an African leader to be like. But recently, we've read some articles, and this is also buttressed by other criticism we've received in the past. He's becoming a dictator, either my way or the highway. This is not the way you really rule a people. Your ideas are good, but please try to share these good ideas with your people. And we hear you trying to always intimidate your political opponents. This is not the way you run a country. A one big guy cannot really change a country. We want a country to be made of big institutions. We like some examples that you said. You come to a place where there are farmers, you encourage them, you build stuff for them, you are a populist, you make them happy. But we want you not to look at yourself like a big guy, okay? Don't be a dictator, because there have been so many incidents of the opposition saying that you're intimidating them, you're killing some of them. We don't think this is fair. So we like some of the stuff that Mr. Magufuli has done, and we really praise him. But he's leaning now towards that dictatorial bent, which is not good. A few days ago, we received some reports concerning the courts. He doesn't want activists to table criticisms or cases to the court of Dodoma, okay? So this court is supposed to handle issues dealing with human rights, but President Magufuli doesn't like when cases are submitted concerning his country. So he has been challenging this, and we think this is not the way a democracy should work. The rule of law should not be a respecter of persons. When we have a republic, in fact, when we look at ancient Greece, which is the foundation of most democratic experiments we have in the modern world, they looked at the idea from Plato's The Republic. The republic should be built on justice, okay? Not kangaroo courts, courts that are well respected. Kangaroo courts are courts that just bend down to the will of dictators. That's not what we want. So similarly to Plato's The Republic, we want justice to be in every country where there's a rule of law. Justice is blind. Justice treats everybody equally. But we don't want a usurper to think that they have all the power, then they cannot respect the rule of law. That's wrong. So we are urging Mr. John Magufuli to realize that this is going the wrong way, okay? Stay on the right path, do the positive things to help your citizens. When you do positive things, people talk about you, but don't become a phony by becoming a dictator and killing people. When you do that, it makes you look really terrible.
Life insurance money secrets of millionaires and billionaires exposed. Discover how America's rich and famous exploit these arcane tools to build fabulous wealth. Why should these big white guys have all the fun? Let Prince Ojong, the celebrity author of The Miraculous Millionaire, show you the little understood life insurance way to riches. Are you still doubting the good things that life insurance can do for you? Trust strategies, estate planning, 401k rollover, annuity contract, cash value, education funding, executive benefits, income protection, life protection, living benefits, mortgage protection, tax-free retirement? Think and grow rich with life insurance. Your amazing journey to wealth begins by calling Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131.
Then from Tanzania, we're going to continue moving up. This week, you're going to have a whole lot of information dealing with anti-French sentiment. We're going to put you now around the Sahel 5, G5 Sahel region, where you have countries like Benin, Niger, Mali, Chad, okay? So most of these countries belong to that Sahel region where even Libya, will bring Libya in, because Libya, since 2011, Libya has not been stable. There's a lot of chaos going on. After the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi, that whole area has been awash with a lot of weapons. If you're looking for cheap weapons, there's so much trafficking going on. People get weapons from these sources. So this has really made it difficult for the rule of law to really be implemented. But now, most of the African citizens are challenging the French. There's a whole lot of anti-French sentiment. In fact, during the present meeting of the NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, the French president, Emmanuel Macron, was forced to address the issue because he was tired of listening to people criticizing his country, saying that France is really usurping all the properties of Africa. France is taking their stuff, and France is putting military bases all over the place. The people don't want France to be there. So he just responded by really taking on his critics. And we love that because we've been doing a good job. You have been doing a good job too by helping us share this information. So the average African now is unhappy with the French presence in Africa, either militarily or financially. So we think the heat now is touching the French, and Mr. Macron, their leader, is feeling the heat. So if he cannot stand the heat, let him get out of the kitchen, okay? And that's what we wanted really to do with this show. We really want the show to really take the points that you think are important as African people, then you put them forward. So now, the neo-colonialists have gotten the message. The African people are tired of having them in Africa. The African people do not want to see their military bases anymore in Africa. Let Africa deal with its problems. Let Africa deal with its terrorist issues. France should not be the one handling this. So for the first time, during the NATO summit, Mr. Macron had to really deal with a lot of critics. And especially when we take you now to Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast now is another area where soon, maybe like in a few months, there will be new presidential elections. Already, there are three big elephants. You have Henri Conan Bidier, you have Alassane Ouattara, the present president, then you also have the former president of Ivory Coast, who is Laurent Gbagbo. He is not going to stand for re-election. But from what we're seeing, it looks like he may not respect his pronouncement, because he's saying that if Henri Conan Bidier wants to stand for election, or Gbagbo wants to stand for election, since these are all people of his generation, then he has a right to stand for re-election. So if these people do not stand for re-election, then he will bow and go away into the sunset. But from the way we see it, he's just being coy. We think he's looking for ways to really stay in the game and run a game. But we think when he connived with the French to expel Nathalie Yam, we want to stress that on this show again. Nathalie Yam was expelled from Ivory Coast. Why? Because when she went to the Sochi meeting in Russia, she spent a lot of time presenting the position of the leader party, which is headed by Mamadou Koulibaly. But we're really happy because Mamadou Koulibaly himself has come out to challenge President Emmanuel Macron, okay? He's telling Mr. Macron that, listen, we, the Ivorians, we, the Africans, we are Pan-Africanists, okay? We're a new set of Africans. We are tired of what happened to us since the Berlin Conference of 1885, when you stole our stuff, you made our parents slaves. We've forgiven you. But we're tired. We don't want to continue to be your slaves anymore. We don't want you to continue exploiting our resources anymore. So this has to end. And this is the message Mamadou Koulibaly was delivering to Emmanuel Macron. We don't hate France. We don't hate French. We speak French very well. What we hate is France's neo-colonialist tendencies. That's what we hate. What we hate is France's exploitation of Africa. That's what we hate. Now France is conniving with Alassane Ouattara to dismiss and expel Nathalie Yam from Ivory Coast. Now the lady is in Switzerland. But she's going to cause France even more problems, because she's in the Western world where she has a big microphone where she'll be speaking even more, okay? France may think that they want to silence her, but it's a mistake. France made the same mistake when they fired Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwai. When they did this, she even got a bigger platform. Similarly, by instigating the firing of Nathalie Yam, France is going to also lose again big. Because right now, all the African youth are rising against French imperialism in Africa. You can see the pictures in the whole Sahel region. Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, Chad, that whole region. In fact, even including Nigeria. Today, we saw pictures of a group of activists in Nigeria who went to the French embassy, and they were denouncing French encroachment in the Lake Chad region. What is France doing there looking for resources? France is just so hungry for resources that they cannot just leave the African continent alone. So they went to the French embassy to register their discontent, that they don't like the French presence in the Lake Chad region. So France now is just like a thief. They've caught the thief and they want the thief to get out. So France doesn't really have anywhere else to go. Maybe they should go to other places in Europe and be stealing over there. Africans think they have stolen enough and they want France to get out. And wherever France goes, it's like ole, 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 thief man, thief man, thief man. So everybody now knows that France is a rogue nation. They steal. They may talk about liberté, fraternité. All those are empty slogans. In fact, France is best known now as a nation, a rogue nation, a nation that likes to steal from Africa. So as we speak today, the African youth feel like France owes them a colonial debt, that reparations, France needs to pay reparations to Africa for all the stealing that has gone on for so many years. France needs to pay us money back. And if they can do this, I think it will really change the tide for the better. But so far, we have a lot of videos. In fact, you're going to even watch some of the videos where most of these guys are criticizing France. Interestingly, the videos are in French, but we're sharing the message to you in English, okay? We're translating everything so that you can understand. I know most of you don't read French, but we'll read all the messages in French and we'll translate them into English. That's what is really going on. So France now is really on its tail. And the Africans are really tired of France, and we think this is good, because the way we're seeing things, because of France, there may even be World War III in Africa, because there's a big scramble for resources, and the Africans are not taking things lightly anymore. They feel like France is a big thief, and they want the thief to get out. So Macron is being defensive. Baby Macron, I look at him like a baby. He was whining and whining. I want the African head of state to come to France and tell me if they don't want France again. Who don't want France? Don't wait for the African head of state to tell you. The people are telling you themselves. Macron, are you dull? The African people don't want France in their countries anymore. So don't wait for the African president. So do the right thing. Don't pretend. And because if you keep pretending, most of your French soldiers will be dying in Africa for nothing. And that's really because of your stupidity. So the African people are really doing the right thing, and we're really praising them because they're really doing the right thing to fight for their rights. So everywhere France goes now, the African people are protesting. They are not just sitting the way they used to sit. Because when you look at Africans running from Africa to go to Europe, it's because they feel like, okay, in Africa there's no freedom. When they go to Europe, they find freedom there. So we want Africans to stay in their continent and enjoy the freedom in their continent. So from the Sahel region, we're going to move now to Nigeria. We have a whole lot of stories in Nigeria, but Nigeria too is a victim of the problem of lawlessness. Nigeria is becoming a lawless nation because of the actions of one man, President Muhammadu Buhari. This is his second coming, but so far, Nigerians think it's really a mistake. Initially, they were thinking that Buhari is the president who was not allowed to really rule the country and do the great things he dreamt about. But they've given him the chance, then they've re-elected him, but so far it's just a fiasco. Just one dictatorial event after another. When you look at the recent happenings in the country, America is even interfering in Nigerian affairs because of Omoyele Sowore. This has been a big story. You look at the New Jersey Senator, Bob Menendez, complaining about the handling of Sowore case.
The court had twice ordered his release on bail, and the state security openly defied the court order each time, leading me to conclude that Nigeria is no longer respecting the rule of law, or President Buhari is woefully out of touch with what agents of his government are doing in his name. This is unacceptable in a country that calls itself a democracy. Freedom of the press is a fundamental pillar of democracy and an indispensable check on government overreach. Journalists who risk their lives to expose the truth should be celebrated, not incarcerated. Over 200 years ago, our founding fathers had the foresight to recognize the importance of a free press to a fledgling democracy, enshrining it in our First Amendment. Today, that importance cannot be overstated. It is unacceptable to treat the husband and father of a U.S. citizen with such blatant cruelty. So we stand here with a family who is devastated by the uncertainty that these actions have caused. Today, my office contacted our ambassador in Nigeria in an effort to obtain answers about what actions the United States is taking on the Sowore family's behalf. In the next several days, I'll continue to engage with the State Department in Washington to ascertain the impact that the rearrest of Mr. Sowore and the detention of other activists and journalists will have on our relationship with Nigeria. My hope is that the bilateral relationship we have with Nigeria will be reassessed in light of these events. Mr. Sowore needs to be free, and he needs to be free now. The rule of law must be observed, and that means he should be liberated.
The DSS, which is the Department of State Security, is really getting lawless, okay? Why is this organization not respecting the other branch of government, which is the judiciary? If the court has decided that they should free somebody, why is the DS not respecting the orders of the court? And this is where the US Senator had to really step in. And what Sowore is doing for other Africans is, we thank God that he's an American citizen. His wife is really fighting the fight for him, and other Nigerians and Africans are fighting for him. This has really exposed the dictatorship of President Buhari. People are seeing now that he's been clamping on press freedom in Nigeria. People cannot speak. You could even see the young people were not even allowed to speak. You have so many images. You can really see the way they were manhandling Sowore. He fell down, and they were still hitting him down, arresting him as if he's a criminal. And this is not the first time Mr. Buhari has really abused his powers as president. Mr. Buhari doesn't respect courts, okay? He has the executive branch, but he should respect the courts. One of the courts decided on a case that Mr. Buhari took a bribe from Paul Biya, then took people who were filing for asylum in Nigeria and transferred them to Cameroon to be tried and killed. When the court in Nigeria decided that these people should be returned to Nigeria, up to today, Mr. Buhari has not respected that order. The people are still in a dungeon in Cameroon. Okay? Mr. Buhari has not respected the order of the court. So if you are president, why can you not obey the laws of the land? Is it because you are a greater person? When you don't obey the laws of the land, it shows that you are lawless. And this is why we think Mr. Buhari has a problem. Already people are looking at his second term as a big failure. They are just waiting for it to end. So it's like we don't know when this second term is going to end, but we think it's going to end soon. Wole Soyinka, the Nobel Prize winner, has chipped in. Even Nnamdi Kanu, the activist from Ibop, has also shown his support for Sowore. Sowore is getting so much support from all quarters because people feel this could happen to any Nigerian. Actually, Mr. Sowore is really fighting for the average Nigerian. Freedom of the press, freedom of expression, which is what we should have in a true rule of law. If you have a country where there is justice, people should be free to express themselves. But we don't know why in Nigeria today, Mr. Buhari doesn't want this to happen. So this is sad, and we think it needs to change. Okay? Next, we're going to move to Cameroon.
Hey, yo, Shape, I thought you was going to take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince O'Joan, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states, word is born. He even take care of your tax forms, back refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
Cameroon, our favorite subject, Cameroon. I know so many of you are from Cameroon and you like when we bring Cameroon on this show. There are so many newspaper articles which we've looked at in Cameroon, and most of them keep talking about municipal and legislative elections in February, but we think those elections are not going to happen. Then some of the papers too are talking about the special status which the La République government wants to give to Ambazonia. But the Ambazonians themselves are really making fun of this special status. In fact, you can find so many pictures of cartoons that some of you have drawn and sent to us to present to the world, to make fun of the special status category. You will even see an SDO, Senior District Officer, Larry, who is telling, I beg, when I forgive government, all the bad things government don't do. Come on, the government keeps doing the wrong thing. This is a government that doesn't think. And for once, January is coming. Before you know it, it will be January 1st. Cameroon officially will be expelled from AGOA, okay? So they will not be able to take part in this trade pact. And we have a video which is going to summarize exactly why Cameroon was kicked out. It is because of Mr. Paul Biya's government's abuse of the rights of citizens, okay? People are tried, okay, sent to jail. Sometimes they are not even tried, they are killed. Extrajudicial killings are really the problem. And the Trump administration has really been very, very angry with the fact that the Biya government is refusing to obey international law. We have even a video which can show you why Trump decided to expel Cameroon from AGOA. Watch the video.
This is ANN News Brief.
America has said Cameroon will no longer benefit from a trade pact between the U.S. and sub-Saharan African countries as a result of gross human rights violations against its own citizens. U.S. President Donald Trump says in a letter he wrote to the Congress that he's stopping Cameroon's preferential trade benefits from January next year because the country has violated international recognized human rights. President Trump cited extrajudicial killings, arbitrary unlawful detention and torture. He also says Cameroon had failed to address U.S. concerns regarding these abuses and other persistent human rights violations being carried out by Cameroonian security forces. Deputy U.S. Trade Representative Curtis Joseph Mahoney says the American government remained deeply concerned about Paul Biya's government abuses against its own people. A group of 65 civil society organizations says at least 3,000 people have been killed in violence in Cameroon's Anglophone region over the past 3 years.
Then you can even see the Ambazonia crisis. Why is this really happening? It's happening because of nostalgia. Nostalgia. When the people in that region, the southern Cameroons, when they remember how beautiful things used to be, they cannot really accept the reality of the present, living with La République. When they remember how beautiful things used to be in the past. So it's like a past that is no more, but they are nostalgic about this past. And I have another video I can share with you. You can see the way the people are really nostalgic. Even the words of the former Balewa from Nigeria, who was advising Southern Cameroonians, don't join Cameroon where there's no freedom. You're going to a place where you don't even understand the system. And that's why the Cameroonians are paying the price today. It's very, very sad, but they are paying the price today. And you can see a lot of these videos. Then you can even see videos of ladies dancing, okay? They're dancing and telling the story of Ambazonia. So we're just going to let you watch the video for a few minutes. You look at the ladies dancing and talk about the history of Ambazonia. Watch it for a minute.
Freedom, yes. Freedom, yes. Independent, yes. And yes, 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 yes. No for special status. No for federation. No for special status. No for federation. Amazonia, it don't rise, never to fall again. Amazonia, it don't rise, never to fall again. Amazonia, one for all for one. The Kunya for Yaounde, what would you call and say Pablo? You began your independence January 1st, 1960. Amazonia gained independence October 1st, 1961. We all come together for form Federal Republic of Cameroon. What happen when you go change what way we bring all together?
Thank you for watching the video. We've come to the end of our show and we think you really enjoyed the show of today. But we're asking you to subscribe. Subscribe and subscribe and subscribe. We're going to bring you a new show. So always make sure you subscribe. So many of you were complaining today that you've not received the video we did last week. We think it is because you did not subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, okay? And you can always scroll on our list of videos. You'll be able to see the latest video and watch it. But always click the subscribe button. When you click the subscribe button, then it makes it easy for you to watch all the videos that are on our show, okay? If you can do this, it will make it easy for you to find the video. So we got the complaint. So more than 5 people contacted us today that they've not seen our video of last week. And we uploaded the video. So what we're doing, every week we'll make sure that we upload a video. Sometimes we'll upload it on Thursday or on Friday. But we'll make sure that you always have the video, okay? So thank you very much and continue watching our show. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. May God bless you.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.